That's going to be great. What up? And welcome to Daytime Talk After Dark. My name is Al Jackson, but that is unimportant. What is important is I am joined by a co-host that kicks the segment off groaning, then mocks me through parody, and just continues to grip her root beer. I am joined.
I'm not gripping. I'm gently clawing, holding.
Yes, we have Tori Schulman in the building. Feeling good?
You feeling so good?
Be honest.
So good. I'm a little stressed out. All right, enough with the freaking insurance, okay? I'm freaking out about the insurance. I have to pack for my vacation, which I'm very grateful for, but I have to pack, and that's always stressful. Second, I have movers coming, which is very stressful, and I don't want to handle dealing with these men because I don't know how.
Spider movers?
Yeah.
Yeah, shout out Spider.
Shout out Spider, but
Maybe
I hope...
give their name.
Oh, you're right.
Why are they living in anonymity? What, do they testify against the mob?
Vlad from Spider Moving is building me a web, and I'm going to crawl on that web to my moving. I just hope that I don't have to, I don't know.
You don't want to pack, just be honest.
Ay. And then, guess what the weather is going to be?
What?
Raining.
It is 70s to 40s.
To 40s?
What am I going to wear then? What am I going to wear then?
Wait, on the trip or
on
here?
On the trip.
Oh.
Can I just say this
Layers.
about packing?
Oh.
And I want to say this to our night owls.
I hate my bangs, you guys. Thank you all for saying this. I hate my bangs.
I like her hair. Tori is in a mood, but you know who's not in the mood? Michael Dean, our executive producer.
No, he's also in a mood.
No, I'm pretty good.
All right.
Yeah,
I'm faking it.
Drag him onto your gray cloud of sadness.
Hey, someone's watching from Brisbane. Have a little shrimp on the barbie.
Do you know I learned the most interesting Australian word that they use all the time? Hectic. It means everything.
It's really hectic today.
Yeah, it's it could mean cool. It could mean super busy. It could be
hectic.
I was listening to this reel,
that.
and the guy kept saying hectic for everything.
You know what feels really hectic in the bush?
Are we? Wow.
Yeah, that's good. I like it. Tori, see, look, you're smiling now.
I mean, people
you just got to get over the packing.
People gave me attention, so I'm happy.
I'm going to say something to you about packing, and I want to know if the night owls, if you guys feel the same. Most people, 85% of people overpack.
Oh, I mean 1,000%.
Yes, I have been packing.
Totally agree.
Almost every weekend for 20 years. And I will say this, you don't need that much.
Okay, but here's the thing. I'm going on a river cruise, which I'm grateful for, from the Alps to Amsterdam and then spending some time in Vienna. So it's a lot of different environments, and if I don't have the right clothes, I'm going to be cold. I have to look formal on some nights. The dingoes ate my baby. Yeah. I feel like we insulted our Brisbane fan. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, what if they just disappeared from the chat?
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's just a lot of Veasmere with this fakakta. What shoes am I going to wear?
That's the only thing that I can't really account for is for dudes, you pick one kind of shoe that's in between a tennis shoe and a formal shoe, and you can kind of get away with it.
Yep.
But women, I know you guys got the heels on one night, and then you got some flats if you're going to be walking around.
I got the boots memo. All of a sudden, I'm seeing women in boots. They all got it one day. I was not on this memo.
Do people in Vienna wear boots?
I don't know. They eat schnitzel and have sausage. That's all I know.
Okay. Well, you're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
Especially going into it with this attitude.
I know.
Go shopping
Yeah.
while you're there.
Okay. That's not a bad idea.
Pack minimally so you can say, Dad. I'm just
that's
kidding.
his brilliant idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dad,
Michael
I forgot
Dean
my
for the
whole
win.
bag. Yeah.
Yeah.
And just handle it like that.
Okay.
Tori, I am glad you are here. Obviously, Erica Cobb is not here. Tori, where is Erica?
She is in New York. She came back from a great trip.
Okay, yes. She was on the Breakfast Club with Claudia talking about, their podcast and big things popping. So shout out to her. Shout out to Charlemagne. And I think they'll be shooting a live podcast here. So, yes, make sure to tune in for all those details. Tori, we're going to jump right into it.
Okay. Brisbane guy said I had a bad accent. Or girl, I don't know. But
Yes.
Thank you. Okay, keep going.
But either one, they didn't like it.
Okay.
No matter how they identify, they were unhappy. And that's what you call true equality. You're I don't care how you identify. I'm going to disappoint you.
I will get you back.
So bad. I love you.
No, actually,
I thought that was so good.
Yeah.
I will get you back in the bush.
Why is it
The
that
bush
people
is
from
weird.
other countries can kill the American accent?
Because we just talk like idiots. they do that.
But they're all really.
And they do a lot of Southern. If you're gonna fake it and you're from another country, Southern's a little bit easier. That's where I get my genes.
Okay. Yeah. When I worked for the BBC, and they would do American accents, the one that they defaulted to was a Southern accent.
Always.
Really?
Yeah. It was really interesting working for large groups of time with people from Europe and overseas. Just because you get an like their real opinion about Americans.
Yeah.
And I was like, what is the first thing you think about when you think about Americans? And he was like, first of all, you guys are gigantic. And I don't even think he was talking. He was like, I'm not even talking about weight. He was like, you guys are just physically bigger than us. And
Australians are pretty hot, like.
Yeah, the Australians are big. They're
big people.
Yes. And he said also, I think about your guns.
Yeah, of course.
Isn't that interesting?
Of course.
But I mean, I think because we're immersed in it, I don't think about guns every day.
We are guns, Burger King, fat people, and baseball.
Burger King?
Yeah, but not
we're
McDonald's.
fast food.
Your default is Burger King?
I didn't know this would cause
That
this
is
amount of
really,
anger.
that's strange.
Okay, what's everybody
Or
else's?
maybe say Taco Bell.
Yeah, it's not.
Taco
Burger.
Bell?
It's
What's your first one that you would go to?
McDonald's. Yeah, McDonald's.
Okay, I'm sorry to insult so many
Yeah,
people. I
you
lost
just
like
really-
4 friends on that.
You threw the vibe on that one.
By the way, Brandon says, this is what I love about Australians. They say no. Do you know how they say no? No.
Oh, yeah. It's kind of gnar.
Yeah.
Yeah, I dig it. All right, Tori. Well, let's talk about somebody that's saying yes.
Good one, Al.
Thank you, Tori.
That was so good.
I'm a professional when it comes to transitioning.
So good.
And
Romeo, save me. Tell me I'll never be alone. I'll be waiting.
Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce, he popped the question and she said, yeah.
No,
Let's
she didn't say
do this.
yeah. She said yes.
She said for show.
She said for
That's what
For
TMZ is reporting. And Tori, I think after that podcast that they dropped, no one that watched that podcast, not just listened to it, but watched it, would say that this is like some kind of manufactured
No.
Hollywood. Like, I was like,
They
these
love
two
each
are
other.
feeling each
They
other.
are loving on each other.
Is this like the first real feel-good wedding, like marriage in a long time? Because a lot of them feel like their agents got together and it's like, she has this many followers,
Right.
Al has this many followers.
Right.
It'll be good. They'll get a mini series.
And then they'll break up.
Right.
No, this feels like, by the way, this is our royal wedding.
It
Americans
is.
don't have a royal wedding. This is our royal wedding. So he proposed.
Without a doubt.
Without
That
a
is
doubt.
Brilliant.
Thank you so much. Now, Travis proposed in a secret garden, which he's written about. And he had beautiful flowers. There were roses. There was phlox. There was hollyhocks. There was hydrangeas. I could go on and on. It was just stunning. And he gave her a ring. Michael Dean, it was 23. How many carats was it?
9 carats.
9 carats, but it's by a guy named Kindred.
Well, don't start with 23 and have
shouldn't
to go
started
back down
with
to 9.
23.
So it was this old mine, brilliant cut
Yes.
diamond, oval
Kind of
diamond.
rough, okay?
Yeah, and it is in this kind of antique looking
Yeah, kind of in a
cut.
circly square looking thing
Yeah, well,
with
it's,
gold around it.
Maybe
So-
let him finish.
Sorry. Sorry.
Yeah, it was.
Sorry.
It's yeah, this old mine, brilliant cut diamond, a rectangle cut diamond with antique references, and they value it at approximately $1 million, just a stone.
Oh my God.
But the jeweler,
Is Kindred something?
By the way, you know your ring's expensive when it has references.
yeah,
Like, that's how you know that, like, you're like, I want one with no references.
Dang. Oh, she was wearing. I was wondering what she was wearing. That Ralph Lauren dress was so cute. So it sold out after the photos were posted. Go ahead.
yeah, it's a Kindred Lubeck. That's the designer,
Yes.
and the place is called Artifacts.
Right.
Not Artiflex. Artifacts.
Okay.
Artifacts Fine Jewelry.
I mean, he's gonna go off the rails.
It
with
is.
people.
I have to say, it's really beautiful,
just an
and
interesting
I kind
ring.
of love the antique quality
Me too.
personally.
And she's such a
Could
vintage
survive.
girl. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
So
You have to go vintage, though,
You
with her.
do. She's
because
very
she's so
vintage.
rich that she could have anything
Totally.
modern. You got to track down something that she can't really find.
totally agree.
You know what's
Totally
funny?
agree.
They say
And
antique.
he designed it. Like, what a good man.
They say antique references, which I don't think it's actually antique. I think it's new.
No, it's
meant
made to look antique. I agree with you.
Yeah.
Now, she did have, just so you guys know, a picture of the design in the background of her New Heights podcast. So they were already engaged by the point that they had their podcast. And she's holding his little head and his beard and being like, you're so handsome. And
Right.
Ugh.
I think they actually have a chance. And I
do
mean,
too.
Really?
I really do.
Yeah, I really do.
I always worry that all of this like storybook romance stuff
It's a little like
ends up setting couples up
too high of a bar.
Too high of a bar because like we all have. There's always the honeymoon stage, and then like reality sets in. You make a few choices that the other person doesn't agree with. Things get
You're bringing us down, Michael.
I'm just saying.
Save
I'm
this
just
for
saying.
the 8th grade
It's,
class you're
you
speaking
just-
to.
Dude.
Sometimes if the high isn't so high, the medium part
Dude,
doesn't
I
feel
don't want to
so-
live in the medium. I want to have a high.
I think I agree with you, Michael. I think the high is extremely high. The only pushback I might have, and I want to know what you think about this, is they can actually maintain that high. Because I
of the
think
money?
if I asked Tori to marry me and I spent all my money on
you, Al.
the honeymoon, it'd be like, well, we're moving on down. Like when we
Right,
came back, it'd
right.
be back to life. But what is them getting back to life? So maybe they can kind of stay in this fog. But I see what you're saying.
I will say,
And I will say she's going to do the Super Bowl halftime show.
and here's
for
the other thing. I have a
sure.
feeling that he's going to be retiring after this season,
Yes.
which I think will really free him up to continue
Acting
the
and
love bombing. Sorry, I mean the what?
Yeah.
By the way, Julia just let us know that the Cracker Barrel is going to scrap the new logo and go back to the old. We had a long talk about this on Friends from
Oh,
Work
my
Live, which you guys should be
goodness.
tuning into. Cracker Barrel should be ashamed, Ravens fan says.
Yes.
I did hear that they are going to keep that Cracker Man.
Yeah. It's
put
keeping the
him
Cracker Man.
in the menu, but I thought they're going to keep him off the logo.
No, it says Cracker Barrel scraps new logo design,
No.
keeps old timer after listening.
The old timer.
Well, it just says quote old timer.
You
That's
can't
what
sit
it
here.
is. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. So it's just like Gap and about HBO. They're all going back to the same thing. Nobody wants to change stuff we feel comfortable
That
with.
Discovery merger was terrible.
Yeah, wasn't
Yeah.
it? Oh,
Well, it was
yeah.
bad. That's the thing. I felt like the HBO renaming had more to do with contractual things.
But don't go-
because once
yeah.
it became Max, then there was like Friends on there and stuff like
Yeah.
that. I felt like that was a content thing in terms of the rebranding. I just think, and I said this on Friends from Work, make sure to tune in. Check us out every day, 3 p.m. Mountain Time. That, every company has changed their logo. Every athletic team has
That's so
changed
not
their
true.
logo.
Like I said before, Levi's has never done it. Like old school Ginger Ale has never done it. Tide has never done it. FedEx has never done it. UPS has never done it. They keep those because they're recognizable and
UPS
understandable.
changed their logo. They absolutely did.
To what?
They rearranged the stuff, I think.
No. It used to be.
Is
yeah,
it
they
USP
did.
now?
No. Yeah, UPS definitely changed it.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Well, I bet they
because
got
Michael
backlash.
Dean, they are a company. Companies have to
Don't fix
constantly look, especially when you're a company that talks about technology.
How did New Coke do?
New Coke, they changed the formula of the way it tasted, buddy, not how it looked.
All right, you don't have to get that.
Okay, I don't know why. Tori, I don't like when people bully companies into staying the way that they like
Well, we
it.
don't like it when companies like Gap spend over millions of dollars to get research and focus groups and then find out this terrible one nobody likes. It's a waste of money.
Would people still go there?
No, there was a big drop down in their stock prices.
I think people say, remember when people were burning their Nikes over like Colin Kaepernick, and then people were like, wait a second.
Yeah,
and then
well,
it went away.
Nike's not going to change the logo. Am I
real,
right?
Real quick, doing some research here, it does also look like Levi has changed their logos over the years.
Okay.
I don't
What do you
agree
do,
with
Michael
that.
Dean, if your attorney is
All
wrong
marketing
on
does
all
is-
3 points that they've made to start their argument?
All marketing does is change logos and colors. It's a job to just make up colors and symbols to sell more.
Right.
I
And-
just don't think. I don't like it when the Audi rings. That's right.
I just think they have to constantly, even though we see their logo when we're 20, and we remember McDonald's or somebody's logo when we're 20,
Yeah, the
30,
golden
40.
arches.
But yes, but at this age, we're not eating as much McDonald's. Now they're interested in
Speak for
going after,
yourself. No,
yeah,
I'm
right? now they're going after 17-year-olds, like when we first saw it.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, what speaks to 17-year-olds now? And so I think they change it, but then people our age are like, that's not McDonald's. We're the French fries. And they're like, bro, we're not even talking to y'all no
Yeah,
more.
but people have gone back. Like Gap went back. HBO Max is coming. Like there has been enough consumerism that is annoyed by it that they change it back.
Okay, well, Tori, speaking of annoying,
Oh,
is it annoying to break girl code? Because people are saying Zoe Kravitz did when she started wooing Taylor Swift's old ex, Harry Styles.
Oh no.
Is girl code a thing?
Zoe Kravitz is with Harry Styles?
No, they were seen together, and it seems like
Really?
they might be romantically linked.
Really? I kind of like that couple.
Yeah.
Okay. I think Harry Styles is a way back. That's a couple albums ago. I'm sure Zoe wrote or talked to Taylor beforehand. They're very close friends. She's heard the album already of Life of a Showgirl, so I can't imagine her just bombing in and taking Harry. I'm sure Taylor gave her blessing. And again, I think Harry Styles and Taylor was a very show businessy type of relationship.
Right.
Don't you know what I mean?
I could definitely see
I've
that.
got that, James.
But I want to
Dean.
hear your thoughts because I can't really speak on girl code. I will speak on guy code. We're talking about the TV shows, not the actual thing. But like, is girl code a real thing in terms of like, is there any situation in which somebody could date a Tori Shulman ex that's not from like 5th grade, from adult life, and you wouldn't feel some kind of way about it? Because you want to say, I would be happy, but like, there's something where you're like, I can't really say that. I can't get that out. Even
No,
though,
I think I would be. I think if you're really over someone, like I'm friends with an ex that I would be fine with and wish him well.
So you wouldn't mind a friend of yours currently dating an ex of yours?
I don't
That would,
think so. Would you?
I don't know. My only thought would be, and it's stupid, and I guess it doesn't. I think about that they probably at least came in contact with that person while you guys were together. Now, if it's totally random where they realize later that they have me in common, that's one thing. But if it's like, you know, you bring this person around and then a year later it's like, hey, I'm with your friend, you'd be like,
Yeah. I mean, I guess. I mean, I just think there could be open communication is important.
right.
Just talk. I'm sure Zoe talked to Taylor.
And I'm sure Taylor doesn't care.
Yeah, I'm sure too.
But I don't know how many people. Michael Dean, what are your thoughts on the code, girl code, guy code? Because it's all the same code.
You know, I think the blanket code thing is.
Yeah, it's more like specific to.
Yeah, I feel like there's room for a conversation. I also feel like, you know, like if, you know, Swift was like, no big deal, then what's the problem here?
Right.
It's just like a public perception issue.
Right.
Right.
You know, and so we really don't know. Now, in terms of the code too, I kind of feel like, I don't know, sometimes those rules, people go by those rules and they're too hard enforced. You know what I mean? Like if you hate that other person so much that you don't even want to see them, and then all of a sudden like your best friend is with them, that's going to be a problem for your friendship.
Yeah.
You know, and that's a little bit different than like, oh, some guy 20 guys back that, you know, wasn't that serious. Like, get over it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That song Styles, by the way, is about Harry Styles.
Oh.
I've got that. He's got that James Dean.
I don't know.
I've got that.
I don't know her
red lip
catalog.
Classic thing that he likes, and I got that.
When I hear a Taylor Swift song, it's usually not for me, but I can see why people would like that.
Nice.
You know?
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very
All right.
nice.
Tori, let's talk about something that is it's kind of a little bit sad. I would say very sad, but I think it needs to be talked about because I think a lot of people are kind of dealing with this. Some people are saying we're kind of starting to see this with our president, but Bruce Willis's wife said that his speech is starting to go. What are your thoughts about seeing this iconic actor, in which we cannot talk about American cinema without talking about Bruce Willis? What do you think about this? And what would you say to anybody that's caring for a family member that's going through this? He has aphasia, if you don't remember.
Yeah, aphasia is when you like can't remember the word. My mom had aphasia in the end, and it's really difficult because it's in there and they're like on the tip of the tongue and they can't get it out. There's some slurring, there's some change in her voices went lower, so your loved one sounds different. I liked his white tank top. I liked his bare feet. I liked the yippee-ki-yay mother what? I loved everything about him. And so Bruce Willis is like one of those movie stars. He's a movie star. You don't want to see the acting. You literally just want to see him win.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like he's like the Tom Cruise, the Kevin Costners. They're going to win they're never going to be the bad guy. You know what I mean? There's actors and there's movie stars. And Bruce Willis was a movie star. So he seemed like a wonderful father and a wonderful husband and grandfather. And so look, it takes away the human being inside, and it's very painful because that person has lost their identity. So there are other ways of doing it, like eye movements towards a alphabet, and you can try doing that, but really, really sad.
It makes me think a little bit of Muhammad Ali, at the end for him, and how this person had made their name and hyped their fights with their incredible verbose style of speaking, to have that taken from them it's a cruel twist of fate. And I also thought about my friend that I told you I did the comedy show with in Boulder a couple months ago, and he just gets on stage and says, "Oh yeah, it's my first show since I had my stroke." And I ended up talking to him, and he was just like, he had his kids in the car, and he looked in the rearview mirror, and he was like, "I can't remember their names." And he had to drop them off to take himself to the hospital, and he couldn't tell his in-laws why he was there or what he was doing. And they were like, "All right." And he was just like, "Kids, take." And they were like, "What is going?" But, and he looks healthy. I mean, he's lightweight jacked, so he doesn't look like a person undergoing a stroke. So it just shows you how crazy, like, the gift of a functioning body is. And if one thing goes wrong, everything kind of goes down.
Especially your voice.
Did you read, like, her statement, what she said about this? That, like, it's his laugh, and sometimes you'll see that twinkle in his eye or that smirk, and she just gets transported to the time when he was okay. And then she said, and it's just hard to see because as quickly as those moments appear, then it goes.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you just watch that flicker on and off.
Yeah.
And it kind of keeps, in some ways I feel like it would keep me tied to this hope or to this.
That inconsistency.
Right.
You keep praying for that one and to grab it. And sometimes one day my mom would sound like my mom when we got new medicine in her. And then the next day she wouldn't want to talk at all.
Right.
And it's like you just don't know. So that inconsistency makes you
also,
addicted to it,
That's so interesting, because as you were talking, I was like, it also prevents you from accepting your new reality.
Totally.
Yeah, where you're just kind of like, this is
he can come back. He can come back. Yeah.
Yeah. Where
I can't explain anything with aphasia other than it's frustrating for the caregivers and people who love them, and it's also so frustrating for the person trapped inside because their brain is there, but they can't get it out. It is it's like you're locked in syndrome. Really quick, we do want to let you know we're dealing with the buffering. We see that you guys are writing in. Bear wrote $5. I hosted my friend's bachelor party. I saw a stripper leaving his fiance's hotel room early the next morning. Should I say something?
No.
Yeah, no.
Don't
Wait,
get it.
What?
No.
Why?
That's not your business. Tori, anytime that you think you're about to put on the cape and go Superman for your friend, I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, it's going to be your friend taking their partner's side and you being pushed out. I guarantee you. Your relationship with your friend is different now that they're married.
I think this is different for a girl than a boy. If a woman, if somehow I saw like the fiance, like the guy, and a stripper leaving his room, I'm gonna tell the girl.
Well,
I have to tell the girl. I have to. It's like in my XY chromosome, it comes with like, tell the girl.
Right. Well, your XY chromosome.
Yeah, as a female.
I know. But isn't the Y male?
I don't know. Is it XX
Yes.
for girl? Okay.
Okay. No judgments. We're
science.
It's all the genetic lottery. But no, I
is
do.
Is that right? It's XY?
XY is male.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Because they're like, why? We don't know. Okay.
I just think we also, when we look at situations like this, and Michael Dean, I want you to weigh in really quickly. We look at a snapshot of a person that we know and care for, and we look at them and it looks like they've been cheated on. But we look at that in a vacuum, like this person hasn't been in a relationship with this other person that looks like they're cheating. They know their man is a keep a fiance extra kind of guy, and they might not tell you that. But people know a lot that's not the first time that has happened or something adjacent, and this person has talked their way out of it, and that's why they're getting married. And the fact that, like, you think that you're about to step in at the 11th hour.
I would step in for my girl. I would step in for any female friend. I would be like, this is what I saw. I don't know if it's true, but I want you to know and have that knowledge. I would hate myself if I didn't tell the female. But maybe guys have a different thing. He also says, when I asked about it, she seemed nervous, and she did say he returned because he left his chain. Do strippers wear chains?
Wait.
Depends on what package you order. Yeah, this is.
Wait.
Yeah,
What kind of chains are
I
we talking
asked for
about?
the '90s Pacific Northwest rapper
I want
package.
an
Yeah.
LL Cool J package. Is he not? Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's all right. Well, I don't know. I think you're a better friend than I am. But since we are talking, I did want to finish this kind of segment up. We were talking about Bruce Willis. Tori, I know you're a news nerd. That's why I
Yeah.
love ya. And I know you've been seeing all these articles. You can't avoid them about Trump's makeup.
Yeah,
He
his
looks
hands.
unwell. His hands, it looks like he's covering somewhere where like maybe there was an IV that's being regular. It looks bruised around that area. Tori, what are your thoughts when you look at this? Because it doesn't seem malicious with the articles that I'm seeing in the videos I'm seeing. They just come up on my YouTube. I'm not searching, is Trump sick today? They're
Yeah.
just shows I listen to, they're all talking about that.
Well, his appearance, whether you like it or not, is very important to him. His hair scalp transplant in the 90s, very important to him. The way he wears his ties, very specific to him. His tanning, very specific.
His hair color.
Yeah, everything is really, although I don't like any of it, it's very like planned. The bruising, I agree with Al. It's right on the hand on top here, you guys, and that's usually where you're going to see an IV that gets blown and the vein opens and it bruises. I had one here really bad for like a while. But they do say Trump has come down with a lymphatic disease, and they've been honest about that. Now, we saw some cankle issues, some cankles.
Yes, and that's swelling in the feet, and that's
Yeah,
not
swelling,
good.
and that's a lymphatic issue.
Right,
I mean, that's
yeah.
like a edema right there in the legs. So he's 80. He's going to have some issues. A lot of people say he still wears.
Yeah, it's chronic venous insufficiency.
Yeah. So
And they claim the bruise on his hand, the White House press person, is from shaking so many hands.
that's bullshit. That's
Okay.
absolutely
Which is
bullshit.
weird because if you look, I mean, but it
That
is
is
right.
That's like what
bullshit.
you tell a 4-year-old.
That is so dumb.
Yes.
Then every president on earth should have bruises on his
But
hand.
you know, I bet you he has a really firm handshake, which makes me think that a lot of people like going up to shake his hand,
But,
try
yeah.
to match that.
I don't know. This seems very much of a IV to me, but we don't know.
Yes.
And the problem is that I don't think we'll ever really know because I don't think I would trust ever getting a real answer from that man.
No, well, or his doctor.
Or his doctor. I don't even think sometimes his doctor is a doctor. Like, it's like weird.
Right.
So,
Let me ask you,
You know,
are you a snowflake if your hand gets bruised from handshaking?
I think so. Wouldn't every
I'm just, it's just a question.
good one, Michael Dean. MD getting a little rowdy.
Okay, well, Michael Dean, since you have the spotlight, why don't you tell us about Southwest's new passenger plus size
size.
passenger policy? What is that an alliteration?
Yeah.
Plus size passenger.
So-
Policy. Yeah.
Currently, this is before the new
And
policy.
don't look at me when you say. Like,
Okay, it's not. This is not geared towards you, Tori. Currently, plus-size passengers can either pay for an extra seat in advance, with the option of getting that money back later, or they can request a free extra seat at the airport. Now, if they buy it ahead of time, they just submit it and get reimbursed for it. Now they're saying you must buy that extra seat up front, and you may or may not get reimbursed for it. If you do not buy that extra seat and you show up and there happens to be an extra seat, you will be charged for it. And then if you show up and the flight is fully booked and there is not an extra seat, you will forego the seat that you did purchase, the one seat,
You'll get kicked
and
off
will
the
have
plane?
to wait for another flight.
You'll get kicked off the flight?
So you have to purchase 2 tickets no matter what, with the chance of getting reimbursed.
That ain't gonna fly.
But
no pun
here's
intended.
Doesn't
what
that
I
seem
thought
like
was
a
really
fattest
interesting
sort of thing.
about Southwest. So they're getting rid of the,
No assigned
first come,
seats.
first serve, boarding, the no assigned seats. They're getting rid of their free bag, so there's no baggage fee. And now they're getting rid of this for their plus size travelers. So like a lot of people are saying the soul of what made Southwest is gone. And how then are they differentiating themselves from any other airline?
As soon as they did that, Frontier said 2 free bags, you fly free for the summer. Now, that's a brand that picked up on it and established themselves as different. I completely agree. I used to be only Southwest.
Yeah,
Right.
I love Southwest.
I loved it.
And part of it is it felt different than other airlines.
It felt more casual. It felt like my type of place. They were like, you can change and get credit right away. You can cancel anytime. But now it's like rules and rules and rules. It just feels really
Well,
like...
do you think it's because all the airlines are basically self-regulating themselves with prices, so there's no need to come at the market with a curveball because all the prices are all pretty much the same. That's the way that you differentiate yourself. Is you were like, we're not square like United.
Right.
Get on when you want
Right,
to.
right,
We
right,
don't care.
right.
You could have, carry your dog in your hand.
It was like Virgin. Remember Virgin with the
Yes.
purple lights? And I'm like, I'm already cooler.
Yes.
I feel better.
Well, so like, and this is very similar in my opinion, and more substantive than the Cracker Barrel conversation.
Yes.
Right, because like the new logo lost the story of the brand.
Yeah,
Right.
and this isn't losing the heart of Southwest.
and this is, like,
I bet they're
losing
going to
with
see
the
soul.
same logo.
Right, I think there's going to be a huge stock price drop here.
I don't know.
Why would you fly Southwest now? And now they're telling heavier set people like get off the plane, get off my plane.
Buy 2 seats or get off.
Dude.
I mean, how do you even say that in corporate speak
Right.
at the desk? How do you even say that, Michael Dean? Because you can buy the tickets online. They don't know what size you are. So that means that they are setting themselves up for
They're gonna have one of those
face-to-face showdowns.
They're gonna have one of those seats there, kind of like they do the luggage things, where you have to see if your luggage actually fits in the
Are they
overhead.
going to make them
No.
sit
And make
in
them
that
sit-
and
no, I'm
weigh?
totally making
oh,
that up.
God. I was like, Jesus. Okay.
It's terrible.
My
But
God.
They're going to have to do something like that, because who is making the call that somebody is too big to fly or somebody is just small enough to
Yeah,
fly?
they're going to have to weigh them.
Right, because if somebody's 251
Right.
and they're like, that's too big,
Right.
is 237?
Right.
231. So what is you can't have a policy.
It can't be subjective either. It has to be like a number, right?
I think it's going to have to be a chair. Michael D might have been joking, but it's going to have to be like, like when you have to shove your luggage in that little metal thing right before you get on the jetway. I mean, that's going to be your ass now. They're going to be like, can you fit in there? And I'm not even joking. What other way can you do
God.
it?
Can you
You can't eyeball
imagine?
it.
So yeah, I wonder if the flight
out
attendant.
a
That's a
measuring
great point,
tape.
Tron and Megan. Is it down to the flight attendant to enforce this? I mean, that is going to be so humiliating.
It wouldn't even be the flight attendant. It'd be the gate agent. And
Yeah.
it would be humiliating. This is a lawsuit that you embarrass
This
somebody.
is a fattest situation here.
And especially because there are no parameters. If I'm saying I have
Right.
an airline and these are the dimensions, if you are over 6'5", you cannot fly.
Right.
If you are over 260, you can't fly.
Right.
But if you just go, Michael
Plus
Dean is
size.
too big, Al is just small enough, it's like you can't eyeball these
no,
things.
No.
This is
And like
strange.
basing it on weight doesn't really work, because like you could just be stacked.
My Stein. I do have a Stein from Germany.
Yeah,
from
and put it in the
Munich Oktoberfest.
freezer, fill it up with a cold lager,
Okay.
and have some fun.
All right.
All right, that's enough coddling. That's enough coddling, Tori. She's going
Okay.
on a 2-week
I know. I'm sorry.
Viennese cruise.
Okay.
We should be so lucky.
Okay.
Tori,
I'm very grateful.
I feel like you want to drown me and Michael Dean out. Maybe you should get some noise-canceling headphones from Mark Zuckerberg, because he gave them to his neighbors because he's had construction going on
Almost continually.
for, what does it say, 11
Homes.
on 11 of his homes?
Who needs more than
No, so here's the thing.
Who needs
Like he
11?
currently lives in a normal Palo
sorry.
Alto neighborhood. It is not gated. It is not one of those ones with like huge, like compound-esque properties that are miles and miles apart. He lives in a normal neighborhood full of like lawyers and doctors and other professionals. And he has purchased 11 properties in that neighborhood. He has turned one of them into a school for his children. He has combined, I think, 3 or 4 properties into one, because they're all close together.
Is he building a whole town for himself?
And no, I mean, it's not a town, but like those 3 properties or 4 properties that he purchased together, he's like torn down the houses and actually made some of them smaller. But then he's built huge, like 7,000 square feet basements, subterranean spaces in a bunch of them. Yeah. And then he's
So
got
normal on the top, Black Owl on the bottom.
and he's got, like very strict security. He's got security people there. He's got fences around all of it, cameras up. Some of these cameras were even pointed in his neighbors' yards. And yeah, and so in addition to all of the construction that goes on, he regularly has these very big parties. And as part of it, they like try to avoid some of the street parking, that sort of thing, but you still end up They shut down the street for passenger arrival. So other people, like neighbors that live there, have trouble getting in and out. And then, of course, they're up late with the sound, the noise, and all of the dignitaries, important people coming and going from this house. But it's like a normal neighborhood.
Why wouldn't he go to a gated one then?
You know, they liked the vibe.
I don't know. Because that question, Tori, the fact that it's an unanswerable one, and the fact that he's like, I'm making some of the houses smaller so they appear, to
Like
be
humble,
normal,
to be humble
to
and-
be normal. But on the bottom, there is high level.
This is Mark
construction.
Zuckerberg, guys. We're
Yes,
talking about.
high level construction going on underground. It has been no secret that the billionaires have been trying to get to Mars to start a new colony. Maybe they're like, or the moon. They keep talking about that. I think maybe they're going to go underground because they think once the apocalypse of all the bad weather and everything happens, Four Horsemen, he's going to be downstairs in his underground party deck. We're going to be up top with our noise-canceling headphones as a fireball rips through our neighborhood.
You know what would annoy me if I was a neighbor is it's like, rather than sending me noise-canceling headphones, which just seems a little patronizing, just pay me some money.
Totally. How condescending.
Like money's like water for this guy. So just send out a couple checks.
$1,000.
Go and enjoy a nice date night on us if we're too loud.
Totally.
You know, like here's some money to cover babysitters. You know, that kind of thing. That to me would seem genuinely thoughtful, rather than we were able to come up with these like $250 noise canceling headphones.
That's kind of BS.
Right. And also, if you get one headphone for a family, like.
Right. What are you supposed to do? Pass it?
Right.
Yeah. It's
Don't
condescending.
forget, yeah.
And it's just weird. There's something weird going on. And I think the fact that he's not giving money is his way of being like, of giving them the middle finger.
Steve Jobs, I read his whole biography. He's fascinating. Rarely gave money up for charity, for other things. So it's interesting when people are super, super rich and then they are stingy.
No.
Yeah.
It's always a weird feeling.
Well, Michael Dean, I did want to ask you, because it seems like American hip hop icon Snoop Dogg may have stepped in it again with some comments he made about the LGBTQ plus community. So, Michael Dean, why don't you tell the Night Owls what's going on with my man Snoop? He's had a rough year.
Yeah, well, Snoop Dogg is facing some backlash for his take on LGBTQ representation in kids' films. Specifically, he was with I believe Zion is his grandson that's about 10. He's got like 7 grandkids. I only think, I don't know. Anyways, 10-year-old grandson, I believe. And they were watching Lightyear, the second
Buzz
Lightyear
Lightyear kind of thing.
Right. And there is there's 2 characters in them that are together, 2 women, and they have a kid throughout the story. Takes place over some time, so you see this kid grow up and all that. And he said, this movie is like she had a baby with a woman. My grandson in the middle of the movie is like, Papa Snoop, how did she have a baby with a woman? She's a woman. And he said, like, he didn't come here to the movie to answer those kinds of questions. And he said, I'm scared to go to the movies now. And basically, his problem is that he doesn't have a good answer. I don't have an answer for that for this 10-year-old. Now, I sympathize with Snoop. Like, I think,
and you're a gay man.
In some ways, yeah. Like, he says he doesn't have an answer, and I think
Figure it
for a
out.
lot of people,
Say that science has been able to.
Yeah, this isn't
allow
the
this.
equation from Goodwill Hunting. Yeah, sometimes women love other women,
Yeah.
and they would like to
Use
raise a
science.
child in the world.
Yeah,
Do you
end
want
of
popcorn?
discussion.
I think that's done.
Yeah. I don't see a big issue with this. And if Snoop can't figure out how to say that, you got to brush up on some. Just say science and technology.
First you probably have to think he's stoned. He's put on the spot by his grandson.
So that's
and
his.
he
That's
doesn't
his
know
problem.
the right thing to say. I just say that I can sympathize with someone not knowing what to say in that situation, and I think him relaying that experience is one thing.
Mm-hmm.
Him saying that then it shouldn't be there because of that there shouldn't be gay representation in those kids' films is another.
Just Me is Fun Hub. It says it's important to separate intention from poor communication. It's a well said thing, and I think that's true. But I guess why is this getting like? How do we know about this?
Well, also
He
don't
brought up
forget.
on a podcast.
Oh, he did. Don't bring it up on a podcast, dude.
I think he was trying to be funny.
Oh, you're gonna insult a whole group of people, man.
And also, don't forget the Lightyear movie tanked because a lot of right-wing groups found out about this couple. This was a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago, and they tanked the sales. It tanked
Really?
because of that. And it's going to be one of those reasons where a lot of these Pixars and all these big animation studios are going to think twice about having same-sex characters because you're like, we can't risk a $600 million budget.
Yeah.
You know, because all it takes is one person. We've seen this with whether it was Bud Light.
Bud Light, it was the
You know, all it takes is like one little thing to ignite half of the country to hate your product.
Yeah, but I'm not going to be held hostage by bigotry.
You're not, but maybe your stockholders will, and not your stockholders, your investors for your film.
Yeah.
Or the audience.
Yeah. I don't understand. Well, I just don't.
You know, it was all this, you know, backlash against going woke. And, you know, I really, this is the part of the going woke thing that I disagree with, including representation in movies and that sort of thing.
Because I'm sure that girl has two moms in her class as
Right,
parents.
like
You know what I mean?
it's a better reflection of society.
Families are built in different ways.
Right.
Period. Done. I'm moving on. Yeah. What's your popcorn choice?
I mean, would you rather answer, Michael Dean, the lesbian question from Snoop's grandson, or
why do you smoke all the
your
time?
nephew being like, why is that woman dancing with that animal in Beauty and the Beast?
Boy.
Why is this man following a woman around with her shoe?
Oh God, with the Beauty
Why
and
is
the
this
Beast.
woman's hair so unkempt that she can use it as a ladder?
Why is this
Yeah, why
woman
is
under
his
the
mom
water? She
keeping-
can speak, you know?
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
a lot of weirdness in all those movies.
And by the way, all those movies from Disney have one parent. The other one is either dead or separated. Have you ever noticed that?
No, I didn't.
Poseidon, Ariel, The Lion King, one gets dead. You have the step parent from Snow White, from Cinderella. So just so you know, would you rather have a broken family or would you rather have two loving parents?
Single mom, old woman in the
Yeah,
shoe.
the evil stepmother, you know what I mean? That's a
Right.
Disney thing. So let's not bring up Beauty and the Beast. Al thinks it promotes bestiality.
I just think it's strange.
Oh, God.
I think a question can be asked as to what are we looking at here?
By the way, people write in right now, Night Owls. Was the Beast not so much hotter than the Prince?
Oh, yeah.
So much hotter.
Kind of weird. I totally agree with you.
Totally. I mean, like, the Beast was a hottie.
This is the finished product
Hottie.
of animal indoctrination.
He was somehow very aggressive but gentle with her.
Yeah.
Very strong but very, like, sweet. I loved the Beast.
It was a letdown.
Yeah, when they turn around and Belle's like, ew, it's you.
She wasn't like that.
She didn't like it. She preferred the Beast for sure.
And I will say this in closing with this topic: the kids don't care. They
Yeah.
know everything.
Yeah.
They don't. My kids, if you were like,
Beast hottie. I
Avery
agree.
and Elijah, we need to talk about gay relationships. They'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
Like they know. They're
Yeah.
just like,
They're-
go ahead, you old man.
Yeah, right.
Get it out.
Yeah, right.
So this is a discussion for us older folks.
Julia says many children's books deal with animals telling a story. Al, thank you. He's upset about the human with the animal.
That was my.
And yes, the Beast was hot. Thank you, Tron.
See, you guys are all been indoctrinated, Night Owls. I'm here to break you of that spell. I'm like the Matrix over here.
Yeah, you're Morpheus.
Take that blue pill and realize that there's an animal and a woman on the screen.
But they kissed. That is weird. They kissed.
Yeah.
I liked it.
Yeah, there we go. All right, Michael Dean, what's the latest?
I did like it.
Because I did.
fangs.
Let's get some positivity. Tori, I did want your thoughts.
Ignore. Hate what they don't understand.
The
Thank you, Renee.
Ignorant people hate what they don't understand.
Oh,
Thank
thanks,
you.
Renee. We
Yes.
appreciate that so much.
You know what else I appreciate, Tori? We are living in different times. I was talking about my kids being very progressive, as these young kids are. And now we are seeing startup women's leagues on the rise. Tori, there will be women's pro baseball
Hit
next
it.
year, women's pro hockey
Hit it.
next year, 3-on-3 pro basketball. It's going to be called Unrivaled.
Hit it.
And a few volleyball leagues and a new soccer Gainbridge Super League.
Ooh.
And
And
some of those have already happened.
Okay.
The pro baseball one is next year.
How
But
exciting.
the hockey league is already here, and all of the Unrivaled and all these other ones are.
Where will you be able to see them? Do you know?
Well, first of all, the Sports Bra, they're coming to Denver. Did you know that? They're franchising. You've never heard the Sports Bra? I believe it was started in Minneapolis.
This is a bar.
Right.
Right.
They only show female sports games. So there was a line out the door. So just so you guys know when they
was
started.
this?
Is when they opened and they realized, hey, women can make money on sports, and it just built and built. Now they're franchising. So they're building out to Denver. So like if you're really into women's sports, there's a bar dedicated to just that, which I think is brilliant.
And
Well,
if you don't want to
wanna
go to a
drink in the
bar,
middle
you
of the
can
day?
probably just catch these on various streaming services.
Yeah.
And that's where they're making a lot of their money.
Okay.
Is that they can do exclusive deals with different streaming services. And I bet you that there will soon be a catch-all women's sports, specific
Channel.
Or
Interesting.
ESPN will launch a women's sports channel.
What if it's
I
called?
think so. Yeah. What would you call it? She just had 3 names. It was get her canceled. That's why her mouth opened and she was like,
she was
this is
glitching.
live. Can't say that one. That rhymes, but that's inappropriate. Tori, I
Women
love,
on women or something.
I-
Hold up. I'm saying it's a
all
brilliant.
you bring up.
There was a hole in the industry and they filled it. Again, that didn't mean to be sexual,
Yeah.
but there was a space, a vacuum, if you will. They filled it and they made their money. They got their bag. It's so
Well,
smart.
I think they all, of course, have the WNBA to thank for this.
Yeah, Caitlin
Right.
Clark, Angel Reese.
Like people actually saw that these pro athletes could make decent money. That people are showing up or tuning in to watch this.
women's soccer.
Yeah,
Women, yeah,
Yes.
they've been kicking the guy's ass for years.
Yeah.
Let me be honest, they really
Women's
have.
tennis is 10 times more popular than men's tennis.
Totally, it's so much better to watch women's tennis, in my
Right.
opinion.
I do like women's figure skating too.
Well, let me ask you
A
this.
lot. Okay, sorry.
Do you think that there is a market do you think there is enough people to float these leagues? Because they try every 4 or 5 years to have a rival to the NFL that'll play in the summertime when they're kind of off. And they do okay, but not great. And that's our most popular sport. Do you think that there's enough of a market where these teams can play regular season games, put enough butts in seats to go see the New Orleans Lightning female 3-on-3 basketball team? Are there enough people that said, you know what I'm into? Women's 3-on-3 basketball.
Yes. And I think someone just put in, Julia, you're so smart. I love your watch women play pro sports, and not because I'm ogling them. They just have a different energy.
Well, and I also say this: I think that this is a big result of Title IX. There have been so many female athletes, who went through college being a semi-pro or whatever, collegiate athlete, and now they're old enough and they have money and they want to be able to see these things on a pro level. And I think that we've reached a critical mass to be able to support an audience and teams worldwide, or at least globally, or nationally. There we go.
Well, I've seen the support for these sports. I think has been there. I told you I did a gig in Omaha one time, and we had the night off and we went to go see a women's volleyball game at University of Nebraska. And we walked up to the cashier. We were like 3 tickets, and she was like, "Our games have been sold out for like the next 3 seasons." I was like, "Then why are you sitting here?" But I was like, "That's very cool that regionally." Women's softball is huge in the South. It's huge. Those girls out there, they got the cross eye black, and the swinging for Jesus, and those games are close.
I don't understand the swinging for Jesus part.
Because the eye black that players
I
have.
thought that was for sun.
It is, but then they do one straight down and make a cross. You haven't seen that?
Oh,
Almost all of them.
that's for Jesus.
Yeah, well, what do you think it's for? Just
thought
a
it was
lowercase t?
I thought it was for sun reflection.
Okay. Before we wind down here, I did want to talk, Tori. I don't know what I would do without you in my life.
Why is everyone giggling?
Because sometimes we're all in shock.
I didn't know it was for Jesus.
Who did you think it was for?
I thought it was for the sun. Okay.
What about the one going down?
I thought the sun can come in different angles.
If they had the Jewish triangle on there, would you be
it's
like...
not a triangle, it's a star.
A star, sorry.
It's a Star of David.
2 triangles.
The Jewish triangle.
Sorry.
That's a different thing.
Sounds like a shopping area.
They have great deals.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
Take Tori's card. She's been in the Jewish Triangle all weekend. It's a
And
huge Macy's there.
We are going to talk about Caitlin Clark's because her Nike logo was just released. Is that true?
Yeah, they
Let's do
released a commercial with it. It's kind of two interlocking C's, but very reminiscent too of a basketball. I just really like this because it's the first female basketball shoe.
I never thought about that.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, there's so many, girls who play basketball, women, and, like, everybody can wear Michael Jordans. Of course. Yeah, why not? But, like, why not?
Why
be
but
able to-
Michelle Jordan? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's what I mean.
She didn't have as good a career. Is probably why. But no, I mean, it makes sense. And if you think about it, Michael Dean, we did a story years ago on DBL about Steph Curry, and remember that little girl wrote his shoe company
Right.
and was like, "Why don't you
don't
make
it
these
for girls?"
And he got her a pair of shoes. But again, people always say, "Well, you guys are catering to the woke mob." It's 51% of the country,
Absolutely.
of the world.
And guess
that
who has
you're
the
cutting out?
Absolutely. And guess who has the wallet in the family? Usually the mother, the wife, to spend on shoes. They make those decisions. So to have a basketball shoe for your own daughter, that would be inspiring to get.
Absolutely.
Michael Dean had to apologize to all his Jewish friends.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
The Jewish Triangle.
Tori, would you buy a pair of Caitlin Clark's? You can buy them and then wear them on your trip.
I would love that. The CC.
They're not coming out till next year.
It doesn't look like Chanel, does it? I'm just taking a look at the CC over there. No. Is it a little Chanel-y?
No.
Okay, because Coco Chanel also has this. They say, speaking of Jewish, oy vey, this YouTube buffering.
Yes, I know the buffering's not great. Now, here's what I think they should do if they want to be smart with the marketing and look at the past to understand how to deal with the future. Famously, Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, famous rivalry, Converse, came out with a green and white Converse for Larry and a yellow and purple, white and white for Magic. And they released them at the same time
Angel Reese
and had a commercial.
that'd be cool.
Angel Reese needs a shoe too.
With Adidas or
because you
something.
need to say, it's got to be Coke versus Pepsi.
Sure.
Caitlin versus Angel.
Sure.
So you
Not a
got-
bad idea.
Yes.
Okay, so this is the logo we're looking at right now.
I like that. It looks like it could also be a telecommunications network.
Yeah, it looks almost like, like a globes.
right. But I do like it, and it's amazing that we're here. I wonder if
So Reebok has an Angel
Okay,
Reese
so
shoe.
yeah,
Oh,
she went
Reebok
to
does?
Reebok.
Yeah, but I
Okay.
don't know if it's her own design. Like, she's gonna have a specific Caitlin Clark brand, like the Jordans.
Wow.
Or like some of the other professional.
here's
I
a
want my own
question:
brand.
should they make these shoes for men?
Yeah, of course. Why
Oh
not?
yeah.
I was telling my girl the other day, there's a WNBA jersey that I want so badly. When I have a couple kind of favorites, but I think that like there's a lot. When I came back from my gig that I did in Bloomington, Illinois, and I was driven back in a police van by some of the cops that came to the show, and we were talking mostly about the WNBA. And guys are using names and now it's just like as I'm having this conversation, I'm like, we are in the future, and I think you need to start marketing towards men as well,
Well,
because
real
you got
quick.
some fans out here.
AI says yes, Caitlin Clark's Nike shoe line is expected to include men's shoes.
I mean, that's smart. Why not?
yeah.
I love it.
I love it.
I love it.
I
And
love it.
Maybe even make a couple pairs for some of the female trailblazers that blaze the way for these women. Cheryl Swoops, Diana Taurasi,
Miller. What was Reggie
Cheryl
Miller?
Miller.
Yeah. Sue Bird.
Sue Bird, that was my girl.
Sue
Yes,
Bird.
Yes, okay. See, we know these things.
This is
All
my
right.
Jewish triangle.
Oh Jesus.
All right.
Oh wait, I shouldn't say that either.
Tori, before we go.
Yeah, chicks wear dudes shirts all the time. That's true.
Absolutely. I don't
Yeah,
think
that's a good
that.
point.
I don't, and again, I look at my kids to see what this generation's doing. They don't care.
Yeah.
My son would go and put on like if a woman's sweatshirt if it fit, he wouldn't even know what the hesitation would be.
Right.
Whereas I think 30 years ago, somebody's dad would have tackled them.
Yeah.
For looking in
But
that
girls
direction.
have always worn their dudes sweatshirts and shirts and stuff.
I got
Yeah.
made fun of for having a girls' lacrosse ball.
A girls lacrosse
Yeah, they're
ball.
smaller.
No, they're not. There's no such thing. But they just
they were
signaled me
small.
out. They're like, "Oh, that's a girls' lacrosse ball. You can't play with us." Isn't that terrible? That wouldn't happen today.
No, that definitely happened at a white high school.
Yeah,
I don't know if I would be able to.
Lacrosse is hardcore. I played
Lacrosse has a
as-
professional league now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Lacrosse is really hardcore. And I used to wear just a mouth guard, and the girls we were beat. Like we would take the sticks and I was a defender and I would be like, I mean, we were hitting each other.
I think that all these sports memories we're going to find out come from one person that you knew.
No, I remember at Sidwell Friends and I did the start and then I went and then this girl got the ball and you're banging on their stick to get the ball out. That's how you defend in lacrosse.
You played all these sports and we have no pictures.
I'm sorry, it was 1995 and
yeah, they didn't have that technology then.
Well, I don't have it with me. I don't have photo albums.
Tori, let's talk weaponized incompetence before we go.
Okay.
It is driving divorces. Tell everybody what you think weaponized incompetence is.
You explain.
I think it's like you ask, we're partners, and you say, Al, can you do that load of laundry?
Can you do that load? Oh, can you do that load of laundry, Al?
Sure. Where's
Honey,
your
baby.
sweater? In the thing, hot. Oh, here's your tiny sweater. Do you want me to keep doing the laundry?
Oh.
So that's the way you do it. You act like you can't do anything. I'll cook.
But I'll ruin it.
Yeah, I'll ruin it. Yeah. Oh, was that two $30 steaks? Are they supposed to be black on both sides?
Are they doing that so they don't have to do it again?
Yes.
That's
Well,
so horrible.
Basically, what they're saying is that men who excel at the office, at school, in their fantasy football draft, but then they regularly drop the ball at home. Like you ask them to go pick up groceries, and they're like I don't know how to do this. You send them a detailed list. I don't know how to do that. And
that would be so
what
annoying.
What it ends up feeling with is it.
That's where the invisible load comes
in. It becomes
in.
weaponized when I don't know really means I don't want to.
Right, okay. And that's where you see the invisible load of moms being like, I have to take care of the kids and pick up the slack and clean the
Well, or regularly it's like, oh, I will just do the dishes because he always does it wrong.
Right, I'll just take care of it.
Right.
It's
easier for me to
it's
just
easier
take
to
care
not
of
fight. Right.
Right.
I gotta be honest, it is very, very passive aggressive. Okay,
Absolutely.
Megan, I know we're still missing Tori's gymnastic picture from TV.
Well, now we've got to get to her lacrosse highlight reel.
Oh my God, Lauren Taylor, my best friend, will tell you, and she was recruited
want pictures.
at Brown for lacrosse. I was really good at lacrosse. I was on the
If you
varsity.
produce one picture, all this goes
Varsity
away.
lacrosse. I was on varsity lacrosse. Excuse me. If my man doesn't know how to do these things, I don't find him a very whole man.
It's not.
You should know how to cook and clean.
It's not hot.
Yeah, it's not hot.
I don't know. I think there are some people at different strokes. Some people want a partner, whether it's like
A trad wife.
yeah, but a trad wife is still kind of functional, at least domestically. I think there's men, because there's people that like everything, that want almost like a helpless damsel. Like, I don't understand how to do that, Daddy. Math's so hard, and they want that because that person makes them feel wanted and necessary.
Sort of a submissive.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'm sure that there are some people that when they're looking for a male or somebody masculine in their life, they might find it feminizing to look and see their man ironing. Or washing dishes.
That's sexy.
There's different
AF.
strokes for everybody, but then
Okay.
there's some
That is
people
sexy.
that see a man holding their baby and also making eggs for the 7 and 9-year-old and be like, "That's my man."
I mean, that's so sexy.
So it's like it's all different strokes, but I do think you need to know this before you get married, Michael Dean.
There are general things that everybody, regardless of sex, should know how to do. They should know how to do their laundry. They should know how to do shopping. They should know how to make some basic meals for themselves.
Yes.
They should know how to clean the house properly. They should know how to take out the trash. It's not just, or how to separate the, regular trash from the recycling. Like, it's so weird that so many men end up in their 30s and have no skills in these areas. And you know who I blame?
Mom.
Yeah.
They are the princes of their lives.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
they take over. as
And
the
that
princes.
relationship, then, Michael Dean, you see it, that mom-son relationship affects marriages too.
Yeah.
Because they'll be like, "Oh, Tori, you want to marry my son? You know he likes his collar starched, right?" And you're like, "Excuse me?" And she's like, "Well, you know that."
The man I was going to marry wanted his collar starched. I might.
But it might
have a
not it might not be him, but I think a lot of moms
Yeah.
have that weird
Yeah.
son husband thing.
Yeah, they're enmeshed, and it's
Right,
become
yes.
triangulation, and it's very, very disruptive psychologically.
But it's weird because it's like an older generation having raised these boys.
Yeah.
And now things have changed and they're ill prepared for a modern world.
Sure.
Right. And
Yeah.
the women that they want, that they could probably attain, are turned off by their lack of skill and
Yeah.
their lack of, like when we're looking for a partner through life, what if I have the stomach flu for a week? You can't
Yeah.
boil water.
Right. You can't
and, like,
make me a
stir
grilled
some-
cheese sandwich and some tomato soup.
Yeah, it would be really, if you're, imagine you're sick and your partner is still like, can you get on the Whole Foods app? I want to order in. And you're like, I'm going to kill you. You're like, I'm going to take your life.
Figure it out.
Yes, and
Yeah.
I think it is tension that simmers.
Yeah, yeah.
And,
And resents. And it resents.
Yes.
Yeah, you get resentment.
And according to this, it leads to a lot of divorces.
Yeah, yeah. I could see that. It's become passive aggressive becomes a resentment and it builds and it builds and it builds and then it becomes like a boil inside of you and you can't deal with it. Sorry. Just,
Right.
My problem is too is like when you teach someone how to do it,
And then they
they
don't.
still claim ignorance, because this has happened to me a bunch, and I'm like, we've been over this.
Yeah.
Like, do you want me to watch you do it and criticize you
I
as you're
still don't
going?
understand.
It's also, just in closing, it's also a form of passive aggressive narcissism
Yeah.
where you just think that everybody around you is supposed to take care of you and just like, I don't know how to do it. I don't know how to do it.
I gotta be honest, I had a little bit of that.
Yeah.
I was
could see
raised
that.
really privileged and I had people helping me do things and I'm learning now how to adult.
I would argue that you've been practicing on being an adult for the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah, I would agree.
And it started with you. You would spill something and you would be like, no, I'm going to
No
clean
one
it
cleaning it up, yeah.
And it sounds stupid, but like, look at you now. You're
Yeah.
living on your own.
Yeah.
You're doing very well for yourself. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you, Al.
You still can't pack, but, look, that's your Everest. But, I'm just like, I'm really proud of you
Thank
because you
you.
did the work. And it's harder to do work as when you're an adult and some of those things are already hardwired.
Yeah, because there's the pathways are already made there of like,
Right.
well, ask someone else for help. But like, you definitely want to like learn how to do these things yourself for just competence and capability and confidence in yourself.
I'm also like a big fan. Bring back the home ec classes.
I agree.
You
I
know,
never had home ec.
Include it with the like tax class.
Agreed. The money class
And the money class.
and the credit APR class.
Right,
To be
right.
honest, they said in my school is very progressive that it was sexist to have a home ec. I would have liked to know how to roast a chicken.
How is it sexist to learn how to do something you have to do 3 times a day, every day that you're alive?
I agree.
I don't understand these things.
But I missed home ec. I never had home ec, and I could have used home ec.
This whole like shop versus home ec thing, and the fact that they were so divided by the sexes, I think really ended up overlooking the fact that like
Everybody needed it.
everybody needs these skills.
Yeah, yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Right. I think it's important because if you're,
Baking?
yes,
Bake something.
we're gonna end it on bake something. We're ending right there.
Put a bun in my
you
oven.
yelling bake something.
Just
You
bake
should have been yelling that through a closed bathroom door.
Bake something.
Where your partner's like, "Will you come out and talk? Bake something." And then your sitcom starts.
Ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Night Owls, we appreciate y'all holding it down on behalf of Dude IDK Studios, our senior executive producer, Michael Dean, Tori, Bake Something, Showman.
Yep.
I've been Al Jackson. Night Owls.
Hoot hoot.
Yeah, man.